politics, and the people you saw here on the table, on this high table, most of them I know personally, in the last 30 years. Some of them are my seniors in the struggle, and some of them are contemporaries. Even Mwade Borua, who, let's say, was the president of Omoyele University when I was University of Lagos president. So we have done a lot for this country, and I'm very happy to be with you again. I want you to give them a round of applause. I wanted to just make my own very responsive and not as corrosive as some might expect. The lady that just left spoke about two things that are very important. She said there's something happening in her state, but she ended up not saying it. That is, the state is Ondo State. Our governor in Ondo State, Rotimi Akeredolu, has disappeared completely from the radar. I don't know why she didn't say it. And interestingly, she said women should be given power. Actually, the person ruling on those things now is the wife of the governor by proxy. My sister. Yes. Your sister from so, but the important thing that the word which I agree with people are silent. I am not silent because we are going to have to go to Ondo State. The problem with Ondo State is that the moment we get the degree, we will leave the state. And as a result, sometimes, which is the case with Nigeria, charlatans take over the state. You can imagine Ekiti, for instance, with all the professors from there. One of the best governors they had was Bayoshi, who introduced stomach infrastructure. Stomach infrastructure has now become a stomach and infrastructural problem in the country. Everybody that accepted it has stomach problems and they have no infrastructure. The other aspect of what you're saying about women is that women also have to decide to take power. Yes. Nobody is going to be saying this ever and ever. Nobody's going to give you power. Whether you're a woman, man, young or old, you have to go for it. And if you look at it statistically in the country today, if you look at the electoral roll, which is the voters register, there are almost 50-something% voters who are women. So if you want to take power, all the women need to nominate the candidate, support the candidate, and get a few men to vote for the woman, and we'll have a woman president. And there's nothing, in my view, that men have demonstrated in this country to show that they are better than women as leaders. In fact, most of the leaders of this country who have been in power, either appointed, selected, or forced themselves into power, have demonstrated that they have no gender. They have not favored men or women. So it's not a woman thing, it's a character thing. But I support that. Use your live numbers. Appeal to other women should stop accepting percentages. Your percentage of involvement in power should be equal to your percentage of your voting power and bloc. It's as simple as that. It's a one man, one vote idea. That's to resolve the issue of women. Yesterday or 3 days ago, and this is responding to our professors who came earlier. I think our professors need to upgrade very seriously, I'm not joking, in terms of their capacity to understand society. I think a lot of them, society has left them behind. And why did I say so? 3 days ago, I was in Abuja, and Professor Jega was one of the speakers at an election reform being organized by the National Assembly. And they came there, political scientists that I respect very much. They said, well, we should not allow political parties that are not well recognized to present presidential candidates. And I couldn't answer to him because I was not put on the roll to speak. I would have answered that Professor Jega. I was Student Union President in 1992 at the University of Lagos. You were ASU President around the same time. In fact, when the DSS came, they don't have Dr. Jega from Unilag. They were the ones who surrounded the hall and got him extricated from there. In 2015, 2014, you became the INEC chairman. You elected somebody that was worse into power. You helped to elect into power. Are you saying that the political party that delivered Buhari will be better than the political party that would have delivered Uche Oyebocha or Agbara or Eze? We are all student union leaders. When we were student leaders in the 90s, we were better than the people they call president today. We could have grown. In fact, I was talking to some students who came for NAS convention. You know, NAS has become rubbish. And I'm not afraid to say it.
Yes, so it's true.
Yes. That most of the political ideas that you are finding now in Nigeria started with students, including rotation of the presidency of NAS. Flawlessly. Elections, free and fair elections on campuses. Yes. Well, even when the authorities want to intervene, they can't. There are universities in Nigeria where we count pebbles to election union leaders and nobody can rig it. If you rig it, you know the consequences. So there's a lot to learn from what these young people did. But you cannot tell me that an APC or PDP as a national party should be left to be producing presidents. Why people with brilliant ideas, who have political parties, should be deregistered, and to allow these behemoth criminal parties to continue to impose candidates on the Nigerian people. I said I disagree, but I didn't get to see him. And I've seen the same trend with the professors that came earlier. That is why it's easy to use the Nigerian professor to big elections. Because it seems that, you know, their political science, I'm sorry to say, has become outdated.
Very much.
Yes. And that is what is giving, yes, that's what is giving people like Obasanjo the feeling that he's the new political scientist in town. The other day, he was saying that homegrown democracy, African democracy is what they want. Anytime you are hearing homegrown democracy from people like that, they want to reinstate their own type of dictatorship. And this is not democracy. But why would they feel like they can tell us their own political agenda or political science when our professors will be asked to not announce the election on national TV? Some of them cannot even properly read the figures.
Why?
Yes. And if countries want to develop the academic environment, no, please listen to this. The intellectual environment must be strong. Our own intellectual environment is no longer strong. It has been weakened by hunger, starvation, and compromises. Yes, that is why I would suggest that the next INEC chairman should not be made a professor, and any university professor should not be INEC chairman at all. And people announce there is no law that says that the returning officers must be professors. Let the people who are handling election be election experts, not university professors who have not produced any papers in the last 40 years, some of them. Yes, the reason why I have some issues with professors is that these same professors they are seeing, some of them are the ones who expelled us from university. Yes, they will sit down in the Senate of various universities and expel the brightest students on campus simply because the student is against the archaic system that they have in place. Yes, a lot of professors, they will sit in the university senate, expel Sowore. You understand? They expelled me twice from university. They expelled Uche. They expelled Obaranya. Sam, big Sam, that is SAN today, was expelled from Ife.
It was a badge of honor.
University professors expelled us. And today, the world has embraced us. Yes. So, university professors must hold a meeting. And they must upgrade their operating systems so that they will not also become part of the victims of the revolution that is about to happen. Yes. I want to say two last things. I know you are writing 2 minutes. The problems in Nigeria have been created over 60 years, but we have to talk about it for 5 minutes. I want to say 2 last things. And one of it is the judiciary. Before we started here, I also, because we talk from personal experience, that's why I don't have any paper for you, is that we must understand that the judiciary in Nigeria has come to judgment. this year. And before, the judiciary used to escape all the blames for the evil that's been perpetrated in Nigeria, because judges are usually not seen but heard. But because we now have an Owambe judiciary, we are seeing our judges more. And we have reached a point where the judges have become from being seen to being seen finish. We have seen them finish. And the judgment that they have come to is because, if you look at it historically, at least from contemporary history that I know, in 1979, it was the judiciary that truncated the transition of power to a more stable system in this country with their mathematical agenda. That was 12 to 12. It was perpetrated in this Lagos. In 1993, that we were involved in, it was the judiciary that truncated the freest and fairest election in this country and made sure that Abiola did not become the president. A judicial officer said the election should not hold. Another one said the election was not legitimate. Another judge pronounced Abiola should stay in detention. The Supreme Court couldn't meet. They claimed it was because Ganifa Weme accused them of collecting Mercedes Benz from Babangida, which is true.
And they did.
But the truth is that where are the Mercedes Benz today? They are all sitting on motors. But they have destroyed the country. In 2007, the judiciary judges met in this country and said, ballot papers don't need serial numbers. 2007. You can pronounce all the election that the judiciary has mortgaged and destroyed our democracy as. And that is why the judiciary is also very confident, is that when in 2023, they were confronting some of their customers. They said, when they were doing governorship, I wasn't the one who read for you. So the articles of this world did not have any respect in front of them because they were the ones arranging judgments under Obasanjo's time. Even our brother, who had 2 election cases won in Anambra, Peter Obi, they're telling him, didn't you win before? So if you lose this one, calm down now. That's what I'm talking about. See finish. And a lot of us here too, as you are saying, we have been victims of the judiciary. There was a time we were expelled in this Lagos. We met one Justice Keshintin. Late now. He told us, he said, you want me to rule against the vice chancellor? Are you mad? First he told me, go and cut your hair. That's your dada. I don't want to see. So when you finish with your barber and you are properly dressed, I will take you to go and see your VC at the National Mosque on Friday. He did not even pronounce on our case. You understand?
Very well.
A judge sent me to jail. Granted a bail condition that I could never meet. When we went back and asked for variation, Justice Ojukwu said, you mean Sowore doesn't have 100 million naira? That's what she said in an open court. She asked that I be detained in Abuja for 3 years. Till today, they are not giving me back my passport. I'm still on a going trial for treason. The person they said I want to overthrow has gone back to his animals. The national stage. When I reminded the judge, he was looking at me, why should you have a lawyer? Why don't you let your lawyer? I said, I'm a lawyer too, by way of how many times I've been in and out. But the serious matter here is that the Nigerian situation, I will say lastly, has gone beyond reform. All this one we want to reform. This is an unreformable system. Don't let anybody deceive you. And there's no amount of conferences you can hold and seminars and workshops that can reform the electoral system in Nigeria. It's impossible because the system in the first place was not designed to hold elections. It was designed to select people into power from within the political class that has been holding this country to ransom since 1960 and beyond. Except we are ready. Nothing will change. Thank you very much.
We are saying solidarity. We are singing solidarity. we shall always fight for our victory. There is victory for victory. There is victory in the struggle for Nigeria. There is victory. Forward, marching forward, backward. In the struggle for Nigeria, there is victory. Among them, is a window. Now,
very, very interesting. I see my days. I see my days as regular event.
See
I see because our days with Ola Arundade and Christopher. So I can relate with the spirit. Thank you.
Thank you. Well, comrade, good morning. Well, I had intended presenting a paper, and the paper is divided into 7 unequal parts. Preamble, introduction, background, concept delineation, legal framework, and the question whether there is any provision in the Electoral Act for the use of employment and deployment of technology in the conduct of the election, decision of the court, and then conclusion and recommendations. But I think we need to talk to ourselves. We should leave the paper.
oh, better.
The paper will come here.
I think college in 1983.
I think we should just maintain the stage.
Oh no, Sahara lele.
Is that
Sahara ju wọn lọ yín náà mọ̀.
entrenching
Ìṣòro ni.
use of technology in the conduct of